How is it going, everyone? My name is Johnny Beard, and we got a new season of Streamer Stories podcast, season 8. And my guest today is starting off the season strong with the absolutely wonderful Ink Ribbon. Here he is. How you doing? Great to see you, my
I'm
friend.
great.
Oh, I'm so
So happy
excited
to
to
be
talk to
here.
you. Let's go. I can't even remember. I can't remember like how long I've known of your content. Like it's been years since I found you, and I've been a massive fan. I think I've once described you respectfully as one of the pillars of the Resident Evil community because I truly believe that you certainly are when it comes to content creation. So it's an absolute privilege and honor to have you here, my friend.
Well, thank you. I've been doing this for I think it's been like 8 or 9 years now, and I'm just a Resident Evil nerd talking to other Resident Evil nerds, like
Yes. I cannot wait to talk Resident Evil nerdiness with you now for the next. Well, we can't talk about just Resident Evil, but we're going to talk about it probably quite a
Oh,
lot.
it'll come up. It'll definitely come up.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Let's go. So Kai, aka Ink Ribbon, would you like to introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are?
Sure. My name is Kai. I run the channel Ink Ribbon, which I found out is the third largest Resident Evil focused channel on YouTube, which is crazy. And I just really love when it comes to Resident Evil and other games. I love the story, I love the characters, the lore, and I try to package all of that into, entertaining, digestible content that people can watch while they eat or apparently put people to sleep. I get that a lot too. So if you are into video games and want to know more about them, then that's what my channel is all about.
The voice. It's the voice. It's a lovely dulcet set of tones, my friend. Oh, excellent. So yeah, I did not know that. The third. I mean, that's insane. That's a proud achievement. I'm sure. Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. I'm just like, oh, what?
Oh wow. Okay, but that's now, isn't it? So that's now the last 8 years or so. So let's wind it back. Let's talk about childhood then, if you don't mind. I'm sure even before Resident Evil came about, what was like your first like memories of like feeling or seeing a game? Was it playing it? Was it watching someone else do it? Like what are your first like foray memories into video gaming? Do you remember?
Video games kind of just ended up in my lap a lot, and I just was constantly exposed, and I loved every single time I'd play a game. I really had to think about that, and the earliest game that I remember really playing was probably like Tetris on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But then I got I can't remember if it was Super Mario Land or Super Mario Land with the 6 golden coins. It was probably both because I remember playing both of them, and that was kind of like the beginnings, where I was like, "Ooh, I like this. What is this? This is cool."
Oh, let's go. I mean, six. Oh, I love six golden. Can I have a bit of love for six golden coins? Like, I mean, it's one of my all. I'm not a massive like Mario guy, but I didn't have many Nintendo consoles and stuff like that. But I had a Game Boy, and I loved six golden coins. It's such an underrated Mario game. I feel.
Well, what's funny is I actually played it not too long ago because I got I collect handhelds, and I got like one that had all the games on it, and I was like, oh, I remember this. And I literally, like, as a kid, it took me months to get through that game, and I literally beat it in like 2 hours. I just like
Yeah,
burned through the whole thing. I was like, wow, that was really easy.
it's yeah. I know these games took forever when we were kids, and yet you played them now. Like what? But I mean, I'm sure we can say the same for Resident Evil as well since those days. But oh yeah, I played it long ago as well. I always found like Wario to just be ridiculously hard compared to the rest of the game. I don't know how you felt.
I never played Wario actually. I've only played WarioWare,
Oh,
which is not
WarioWare's
the
fun.
same, but
It's a weird game though, Wario.
yeah, it's like if ADHD was made into a video game.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I remember playing my first WarioWare game and going, "What's going on?" Like, this is humor that I don't quite understand. It's definitely full of Japanese humor in the right way. I feel. No, that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, you played some of the old classic handheld games. Was your first like games? What else comes to mind? So Tetris, Super Mario Land, anything else?
I recently remembered that I had like a Bomberman game for Game Boy. like it's really frustrating because I always had my Game Boy in my hands, and every childhood photo they told me to put it down, because back then it was like, all right, hold on, we're gonna take a picture of you, and it's
Yeah.
like it's off camera, and I'm like, do you know how many awesome memories I'd have if I was just holding that? But then, what really started me as a gamer, my parents just randomly, I still don't know why, they just bought a Super Nintendo and just set it up in the living room. And oh my God, like it came with Donkey Kong because every Super Nintendo in the US did. And it was like Donkey Kong, it was like a Scooby Doo game. Oh, and Yoshi's Island. Oh my God, I love Yoshi's Island. I'm not a big Nintendo guy. There's a couple like games and franchises that I love, but yeah, Super Metroid and Yoshi's Island, like oh, those were amazing. And I don't know, it was just one of those things where I started experiencing that that feeling of like I really enjoy this. Like it was just very stimulating. I loved the graphics, and I was obsessed. I was like, I want to know how they make this stuff, and
Mm.
I never stopped.
That's fascinating, that, because now, I mean, you're involved in terms of making video games as well, aren't you? So, like, that's always been a thorough thread throughout your whole life, then? Just that,
Oh
how does
yeah.
it work behind the scenes?
Well, what truly did it was when we went into the era of 3D. When I got my PS1 and I played like Resident Evil and Tomb Raider and all this stuff, especially the pre-rendered cutscenes, my mind was just blown. It was magic. I was just like, I don't understand how what and now that I'm doing this, like it's one of the things where a kid says like I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. I was like I want to make video games, and everyone was like, yeah, okay, sure. Why don't you have a realistic goal? But it's like I know how to do that now. It's
Let's go.
amazing.
That's amazing. Let's go. Again, I've seen some of the work you've done in terms of trying to make some of like the pre-rendered backgrounds of like some of the old Resident Evil scenes into yeah, wow. Yeah, I didn't notice since your childhood. That's incredible. I love that. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what your passions are when you come across them. That's why you should try everything once because you never know what you're gonna be into.
100%. 100%. So yeah, I mean, so Super Nintendo and then PlayStation One. I mean, so it's a straight transition then from 2D Nintendo then to jump to the 3D on the PS1 then.
Yeah, it was literally Super Nintendo straight to PS1. And I remembered the Christmas I got my PS1. It's probably the best Christmas I ever had. But I can tell you a little stupid story about that. I was a kid that lacked a lot of common sense. So I was so excited to open presents, and I open it and I'm like, "Oh wow, a PlayStation controller. Oh man, but I don't have a PlayStation." And then I open something else. I'm like, "Wow, a PlayStation game, Doom. Oh cool. Oh, but I don't have a PlayStation." And my parents finally were like, "Why don't you try opening one of the bigger boxes?" And I open it. I'm like, "Oh my god, a PlayStation!" Oh,
Oh,
it was
that's so
amazing.
good. That's so good. And you had Doom on the PS. I was one. I think that was one of my PS1 first as well. Was Doom. I never played
Well,
Doom
I,
though.
I actually I found out something about that I didn't know. I always thought as Doom being like a scary game, and everyone
Mm,
always told me like, no, it's not. Like, what are you talking about? But I found out the PS1 version of Doom is entirely different from every other
yes.
version, and instead of having that like guitar music or whatever, it's like got this really creepy, eerie music, a
Mm.
totally different vibe. So like, if you're a Doom fan and you've never played the PS1 version, try it because it's a whole different experience.
It's so true. Like I didn't know this either until another YouTuber Matt McMissles. He did like a
Mm,
what happened on Doom 64, I think it was, and it was only then when I realized, because I had the same copy that you did. I had no idea. I only played the PC Doom like a couple of years ago, but it's been so long since I played the PS1 version, like 20 odd years. I didn't remember. But it's
yeah.
crazy, isn't it? Completely
No, because when
wow.
they re-released for like the PlayStation Store or something, I don't know, and I got it and I just remember I was like, this doesn't feel the way I remember, but I couldn't understand why. And then when I found out, I was like, oh, that's why, because like I didn't play this version, so this music is very unfitting.
Mm. It's funny with just as a concept alone, like the power of music can completely change a game, can't it? Because it's so Doom is known as like this adrenaline pumped, like boom, boom, boom. Whereas you put it on the
Yeah.
PS1, it's creepy, it's different. So yeah,
And
amazing.
on that note, another game that I got with my PlayStation was Ridge Racer, the first Ridge Racer, and that game has the most insane soundtrack I have ever heard. Every song on there, it's like the musical equivalent of like taking drugs or something, where it's just like, what is this? Like, I don't even know what genre it would be. It's just crazy. Like, go on YouTube and look it up, and you'll see what I mean.
Oh man, yeah, I love PS1 90s music. I like it's a vibe. It's
So
a vibe.
good.
Like Ridge Race. I had Rage Racer. I had that one. Very the game, isn't it? It was Namco made it, and yeah, just some of those games. There's you can't like Wipeout's another one. There's just a whole vibe,
Mhm.
an absolute vibe. So okay, well we got to the point now where we can't probably avoid talking about Resident Evil then. So so you mentioned it. Obviously, it's one of your first PS1 games. So was it the first one? And what were your thoughts and feelings and memories playing that for the first time?
Um, do you mean like Doom or
No, Resident Evil. Resident Evil.
oh, Resident Evil? Sorry. Okay, I can tell you I remember this exactly. So I learned later it's because I was getting good grades, but I wasn't told at the time. But I just randomly got a video game, and I remember sitting in the back of the car on the drive home from my cousin's house, and I was looking at the back of the case of Resident Evil 2. To this day, I need to ask my mom. I'm like, why did you buy this for me? Because how did you know to buy it? I didn't ask for it. You know, it was not for kids. Like it was just everything in the universe was like against me getting that game, but it was put in my hands. And here's a really funny, ironic thing. I couldn't get past the first screen in Resident Evil 2. I'd watch the intro, and then you're there where all the cars are on fire, and I would just die. And I was just like, I don't understand. Like I don't know how to move. And I was so excited for it that I would just sit there and watch the intro over and over and over again because I was like, well, I can't play the game, but at least I can enjoy the cutscene. And then finally, one of my cousins like had the controller and he was like, oh, and he figured out the tank controls. And once I saw him doing it, I was like, oh, I get it
Yeah,
now. And then I started like moving and then went to a second screen and I was like, and it was just like, oh my God. And then like getting through the game, it was so exciting. Like so exciting.
that's amazing. Yeah. So, so you probably watched the you died screen a good handful of times then.
Oh yeah. I would
Oh my
like
god.
try to like turn the character so the zombie would get him from behind, see what that looked like, because I just like,
Yeah,
it's as
of
far as I could
course.
get.
Yeah. Oh my god! So yeah, again, that's just again just memories and just again stripping it back. That's incredible. Yeah, and again, just seeing how that works, like from the front, from the side, and again, I think if you have multiple zombies, again, if you had loads of people, there's like about 6 or 7 zombies in that screen, isn't there? So like, I think
Yeah.
they all come onto the screen in different ways.
Well,
So
that's from a game design perspective, that's a big mistake with Resident Evil 2 and 3 is they throw you in a room where there's enemies and you don't have time to like figure out how to move. Resident Evil
mm,
1 did it right because you start in the main hall and you have a second to catch your breath and be like, okay, how do the controls work? But no, Resident Evil 2, they're like, good luck, everything's
yeah,
on fire and there's zombies, bye.
it's so true. And yeah, oh god, yeah, and then yeah, meeting Enrico for the first, not Enrico, sorry, oh my god, and no, Enrico's in RE1, sorry.
Uh
Um,
Kendo.
Kendo, sorry, yeah, for the
I was
first
like trying
time.
to remember his name too.
Oh man! Oh, speaking of Kendo, I saw you play Kendo's mod not long ago as well. That's so funny. That's so
Oh my
funny.
God.
But yeah, wow. Okay, so like, so what are some of your further on memories? So it was Resident Evil 2 first for yourself, then, and then, I mean, were you scared? Were you like after the first few death screens, you probably
Oh,
like, but
Oh no, I was scared. Like I don't
yeah,
really get scared now because I've played so many horror games. But like I remember when I unlocked the second scenario, I actually called my little sister in the room to sit with me because I knew Mr. X was gonna break through the wall, and I was so scared that I didn't want to be by myself. So I was just like, oh, and then he broke through the wall, and I'm screaming, and my sister's like, oh my God, and like I'm just like running for my life, and I remember like all the jump scares really got me like in the library where you fall through the floor
mm,
that scared the
yeah.
absolute crap out of me as a kid. Like I jumped and I was just like, "Oh."
It's such a the jump scare. I swear the jump scares in I2 are just some of the best of all time. So good, in fact, that when they put the majority of them into the remake, they scared a whole new generation of people, didn't they? Like Mr. X and yeah, that's such an underrated one. I feel like the falling through the stairs because it comes out of nowhere. It's
Yeah, well,
terrifying.
especially if you don't know it's coming. I mean, it really surprises you because the floor literally falls out from under you. But that's kind of the downside to that is once you've played the game like three or four times, you know they're all coming, and then like the jump scare's over. But the good thing is Resident Evil then becomes a really fun action horror whatever instead of being scary. At least for me,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why we still play it today. Yeah, that's I certainly do, and I know you do as well. So I yeah. So was it then two, then one, then three for you? What was your order?
Um, I can't remember. I think it was two and then one, and then I was waiting for three. And I really kind of wish I had started with one because when you go from two to one, it's
Mm,
quite the downgrade. To this day, I'm still kind of like with one. I love one remake, like that's the version that I usually play. But if I play Resident Evil one, it's usually the DS version because that's the version where they fixed everything.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I was quite fortunate really because I played kind of one and two kind of at the same time, but I deviated more towards one because I think I was watching my friend play two, so I didn't get the feeling that of playing two. And so I kind of got that feel from one first. So I was quite fortunate because it kind of like I still remember like yeah the dog jumping through the window like terrifying the crap out of me and stuff like that. So I was quite fortunate.
Well, when it comes to the Resident Evil fandom, I think, at least as far as the original trilogy is concerned, you are in one of two camps. You're either a Spencer Mansion kind of person, or you're like a Raccoon City kind of person. And there
Hmm.
seems to be a divide, not like against each other, but
No.
like a preference, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm definitely an RPD Raccoon City. Like the mansion just never really like appealed to me. I've never found mansions scary in games, so it's just
Yeah.
like like even when I played
Mm.
Clock Tower, it's just like this is kind of cool. I like it.
That's a
Like
good
I'll
game.
live here. I don't mind.
Yeah, actually, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Lovely aesthetics. I love it. Oh, amazing. So you mentioned some other classics then. So Tomb Raider, you played that a lot. So other games on the PS1 era that come to mind?
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider 2. I started with two of almost every major franchise for like my first one. Resident Evil 2, Tomb Raider 2, Crash Bandicoot 2. Um there's probably like more I can't remember. Obviously Metal Gear Solid. Like I played all the major hits, that everybody knows and loves, and I mean those games were life-changing.
Hmm. I
And
mean,
a big thing for me is I didn't really grow up with a lot of like positive role models, whether it was like any adults or older kids or whatever, and I didn't have a lot of friends. So being a gamer alone in my room playing these games, a lot of these characters became very real to me and sort of served as like mentors, like
yeah,
and in a lot of different ways. Like Leon and Claire were like the big brother and sister that I never had, and Lara Croft was like my imaginary girlfriend that was so cool, and all that stuff. And Snake was like the person that I wanted to be when I grew up. And I think that really speaks to the importance of video games, because there's a lot of people who really don't understand that it's not just running around and shooting things. There's so much more, and you spend time with these characters, and they teach you things about yourself and the world, and it's a really important thing. So I'll always advocate for that. But yeah, the it wasn't just games; it was a lot more than that for me.
I I completely agree. I and yeah, I've talked about it a bit on previous episodes, but like with Final Fantasy VII did that for me. Like again, naming your characters and stuff like that. Like Tifa was my girlfriend and all that stuff. And yeah, it's like coming of age moment, isn't it? And again, I got bullied a lot, so I spent a lot more time in my video game world because it was an escapism. So yeah, I can relate a lot to what you said there, and it's so important, isn't it, to have that as a space. So
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of kids that, maybe they're in a household where they're always getting yelled at, or maybe at school and at home, they're always being told, like, stop doing that, no, or whatever. And then they play a video game, and even if it's like Mario or something, it's like, great job, you did it. And then they get that sense of like, worth and pride, and, that they're lacking. And that's what turns regular people into gamers.
100%. I was going to ask about like your relationship with like friends and family and stuff, but I think you've already covered that then. So in terms of like, what are some of your favorite memories then of like you talk about your beating scenario A in Resident Evil 2, but have you got any other stories about like the feeling of enjoyment and satisfaction about beating certain games for the first time? Like what what moments of nostalgia come to mind for you?
Oh God, there's a lot. getting through Metal Gear Solid the first time, and I didn't have the finger dexterity to beat the
Oh,
torture thing, so Meryl
yeah.
died, and I felt so horrible about it. Like I was like literally just like this 11-year-old kid just crying, be like, "Oh my god, she died, and it's all my fault."
Oh no.
Um, yeah, I don't know. So I don't really know if I have a sense of pride from my younger days because I was a cheater. I wasn't as good of a gamer as I am now. Now I can play through games and I've got the skill. But back then I would just get really frustrated. Like where you want to break the controller because it's too hard. So I would use Game Shark and cheats like nobody's business. I would just give myself infinite everything, like can't die, and I would just go through because I wanted to just see the levels. I wanted to experience it, but I didn't really care for the difficulty.
I love that, but again, it's the thing that doesn't kind of happen anymore, is it? Like I remember getting like the Game Shark like discs and stuff like that, or getting like the cheat code manuals or whatever in like certain like official PlayStation magazines and whatnot. It's a certain element of that that's disappeared from today's society, and it's sad because it is how people played back in those days. People talk about games were so much harder back in those days. Yes, they were, but there were still workarounds, and you got to experience it in a nicer way. So I think it's great.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out why cheats disappeared because I think it's literally because of achievements and trophies, but it might also just be that the game companies like that manufacture the consoles just said no because they have a lot of rules about what can and can't go into games. That's why some like something on PlayStation will be censored, but then on Nintendo it's not, ironically. And yeah, I don't know. I think cheats are fun, and it depends. There's certain games that are more fun with cheats, like Grand Theft Auto or something. But then there's some that it's like the first time I played Final Fantasy X, I used cheats and I blew through the game. But then I was like, I had this feeling of like I think I missed out on something, and then I replayed it again without cheats, and it was so much better. You know?
Mm. I love some of the older cheats in the '90s as well. Like it's just simple, silly things like make your head look bigger or whatever.
Yeah,
But
like what
where's they
happened to
gone?
those cheats? Like that's just for fun. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. There's a certain missing trick I feel in video games. I don't know why.
And big head mode is like so easy to implement. You literally just get whatever the head bone is and set scale to like 150 and then boom, they got a bigger head. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's not, I don't know.
Come on, game devs, sort this out. Come
I know.
on.
Every game should have big head mode.
Oh, every game. Okay, so we're talking about some of the absolute classics, haven't we? Some of your favorite games of all time. So what's like? Is there like a game that comes to mind that's one of like the worst? Is there like a game that like when it comes to like bottom tier terrible game, and it could be like a game that was really bad, or a game that was really difficult, or maybe buggy. Like what is it that comes to mind?
I don't know because like the really bad games I just can't remember them because
Yeah, fair.
they're not memorable. But I feel like there's a lot of games that uh it was like frustrating because you really wanted them to be good and then they weren't.
Hmm.
But like I don't know if it's because I'm a gamer or a game dev or just optimistic or what, but I always try to like kind of see past the mistakes and see what they were going for. Probably the biggest one that comes to mind is Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. I really, really love that game despite all its flaws and bugs. I saw what the developers were trying to go for, and I really, really liked it. And I know I wasn't the only one because there's like a whole rabid fan base just for that game alone. And but they remastered it, which was a miracle. I didn't think that would happen because I think that's what needs to be done. Is instead of all these remakes of games that we already know and love and are already good, I think there's a lot of games that could have been good, but maybe they missed
Yes.
the mark, and they could get a second chance if they were revamped and brought back. And because those game designers are sitting there for years just being like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and it's like, do
Yeah.
it.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I think that's such a solid viewpoint. To be honest with you, that not enough people think about is the fact that there's a whole. We talk about the classics, we talk about the Resident Evil remake and the Final Fantasy VII remake and all that stuff, but there's underneath in that underbelly, there's a load of games that were shoulda, woulda, couldas that had great concepts or great stories but bad gameplay or whatever. That is just sitting there now, not doing anything, gathering dust or not even gathering dust, and it's so sad because if they had just that a bit more love and attention, they could be absolutely perfect games for the future. Who knows?
Exactly.
It's so sad. Okay, so what are you playing right now? What are you playing at the moment? And also on top of that, what amount of time do you play in terms of playing offline versus your YouTube lives and stuff like that?
Most of my video games playing today is for content,
Yeah.
one way or another. But right now, I hate to admit it, but I'm really addicted to Balatro. Like
Yes.
it's like crack. If you're watching this and you have not played it, don't play it because it's so like you start off and you're just kind of like, it's just a stupid card game, but then you're like, wait a minute, and then before you know it, you're like you're like, I need to play it. Like just one more, and then yeah, but I was actually playing before we called. But aside from that, what else am I playing right now? There's a visual novel coffee barista game called Coffee Talk that I'm playing because I'm interested in making a game. I used to be a barista at Starbucks a long time ago, and
Oh.
I don't know, I like people like ASMR, and I don't, but I there's a specific ASMR where it's like people are just making drinks. It's really big in Korea for some reason, and I'll
Okay.
sometimes watch that and just like the clinking of the ice and mixing the drinks. It's very relaxing, and I was like, I want to make a
Yeah.
game of that. So I was playing that to study it, which sadly I found out the developer passed away, and
Oh.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, although they had also just released a sequel, so maybe he was already working on it, but that was kind of like, oh. And then I felt the need to really finish it because I was like, this is a developer leaving their mark on the world. I was also playing Oblivion Remaster because I love the original Oblivion. I'm not a big Elder Scrolls person, but Oblivion specifically, just there's something special about it, and I love it.
Mm.
And this is probably the first time that I've played a game where I'm like, this is cool, but I really like the original,
Okay.
mainly because
Yeah.
of the graphics. But
I've not played the remaster yet, but yeah. No, it's just such a sweet spot in my life as well. I love Oblivion so much.
like
Balatro.
if Oblivion Remaster had the option to turn off the new graphics and go to the old one, but keep all the new quality of life stuff, it would be like 10 out of 10. I would
Ah,
totally do it.
interesting that. They haven't, so many games now have that option, don't they? But no, they haven't done that. That's a shame. Um,
Yeah.
and so you mentioned Balatro, so funny. Is it like a Resident Evil 2 hardcore fan thing? Because again, I'm giving a bit of a shout out to my friend Deep Stack Dave, world record speedrunner of Resident Evil 2, was also obsessed with Balatro. What's going on there?
Well, I think it's just really good game design. Like, I mean, it's fundamentally it's just a card game, and when you
Yeah.
can take something simple and make it that engaging, that is like stellar game design.
Yeah.
So part of it was I wanted to study and just be like, what is this about? But a big part of it is roguelike randomness. That's like the golden ingredient for making a game just really, really addictive and engaging. I've actually tried to think, I'm like, if you could turn Resident Evil into like a roguelike game or add elements of randomness,
Mhm.
you could do a lot. I mean, BioRand is like the closest thing we have to
Yeah,
that,
it is.
because like you pick up an item and you're like, what's it gonna be? And then it's like, it's a shotgun or it's an herb or it's a key or whatever. And that alone already shows that that can be really fun. I just don't know how that would work. That's a whole game design nightmare. I don't even want to get into, but maybe
Yeah.
one day.
Maybe. And just speaking about that again, I'd like to again thank you for taking part in our BioRand tournament early this year. It was an absolute joy to watch you race.
No, I crashed and burned twice.
Oh no, you were great. You were great. And but yeah, just some of those again. You did, but yeah, you did better than me. I'm supposedly all right. But I had a terrible tournament, and you kicked quite a lot of butt. But there's some people that were playing it just absolutely insane. Like I'm like, what are you doing? It's I don't know, whole
Yep.
different level. And yeah, and that's again how I got in touch with you as well. And just as a concept and for Biorand, like, do you think that Capcom are looking at that? Do you think that Capcom can maybe look at just we mentioned the roguelike and then that modding community is so strong? Like, do you reckon there's a space in the Resident Evil Capcom community for that? Do you think officially?
I would be surprised if Capcom wasn't aware of the BioRand or just the randomizers, because there's also one for Resident Evil 2 remake now,
Yeah.
which is really fun. And I don't know. I would love if they did that because it breathes so much life into a game like that, especially when it's a game that it's linear and it's the same experience every single time, you know, with maybe different choices. But when it's random, that's where it's like normally where you'd find this really powerful weapon, you're like, oh crap, I just found some health and I need ammo. And then it forces you to think on your feet, and then you have to use strategy, and it's so much more interesting, you know? So
Mm,
I would love if they did that. We still have no idea what Resident Evil 9 is going to be, so
no.
maybe they'll throw something in there. I don't know.
No, I've had some people say that there's all the rumors are coming out now about RE9 Requiem, but like, oh, we're gonna see more of Resident Evil Raccoon City in RE9 than we ever did in RE3 lol remake, you know, type of thing. And it's like there's apparently supposed to be open world again. That's a rumor that's coming out, isn't it? So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I would love like I have to contain my excitement. When I saw the trailer, I freaked out because I've been saying for years now, like on live streams and stuff, I'll tell my viewers I think we need to go back to Raccoon City, or destroying
Yes.
Raccoon City was a mistake. And I've also said that having an open world MMO Resident Evil game would be amazing, especially for us fans, because it's like we could actually play with each other and meet up in virtual space. Like, how cool would it be to like, you know, I log on, I'm like, hey everybody, like I'm gonna be at the RPD, let's go raid whatever, you know, and get some items or whatever, and then everyone comes and it's like this party online. Like, you know, I'm not an online player. I'm really I don't I'm an introvert, but that would be a different story. That's like the one game that I'd be like, yeah. Plus I'm like from a content creation standpoint, I'm like, I could make so many videos.
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, not too far now. Not too far. Um, so again, I know you've covered it as a topic on your channel. Achievement hunting, trophy hunting. We've gone through some of the top 10 trophies and stuff like that. I know we have, but like just as a person, then as an individual, are you a trophy hunter? Are you someone that likes achievements?
Yeah, I'm a trophy whore. It's actually a real problem. I know it's a problem because I hardly ever play my Switch, and a big reason is because I'm like, yeah, but I could be playing it on PlayStation and getting trophies, you
Yeah,
know? And just it kind of makes me like, are trophies and achievements a good thing? Because it kind of feels like they're like they're manipulating me somehow or something. But yeah, I think I have 55. Can I check on the PlayStation app? I have quite a few um trophies. Like I love to platinum games, but I haven't really been able to in a long time because I just don't have the time that I used to play games, you know?
yeah. No, it's an interesting concept that. And again, you would think that by now, surely
I have
Nintendo.
72 platinums.
Nice. Wow. That's incredible. But
Cool.
you would think Nintendo would solve that by now because it's a whole. It's not like it's an IP or anything like that. They can easily implement it if they wanted to, but they are just choosing not to at this point.
Yeah, but it's like again, I'm like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, Nintendo's always gonna do their own thing. So it's like,
Mm.
okay. But I mean, even if they implemented achievements, I don't know if I'd care. It's just like I said, I'm not really a big Nintendo person.
Yeah.
It's not that the games are bad or anything, it's just they're not for me. Like,
Hmm.
you know, I like mature games, I like really deep story, and as fun as the game may be, it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
I can't make a 25 facts video about like Yoshi. Like, there's not really much. He's a dinosaur, and there you go.
So, and you're talking about like the potential addiction, shall we say, for trophy hunting. Like I was speaking to a guy earlier today, who's doing his best to buy every single Xbox game now because we're at that point with the Xbox lineage that it's still quite cheap, but give it 5, 10 more years, those games are going to rocket in price, like we have with the Xbox and the
Yeah,
PS1 and stuff. And he's trying to get 100% every single Xbox game around, and he's trying to do regionally as well. So obviously, here in the UK we got the PAL region, but you got NTSC over there, etc. He's trying to get many regions, and I'm like, what? Like, how much money have you got? Firstly, and secondly, like, how have
how
you got
much
all the
time do you
time?
have?
Exactly. So genuinely got an addiction. I think you know.
Yeah, but so what my new philosophy towards getting a platinum or whatever the Xbox version of that is, I don't know, but I save it for games that I truly enjoy, and I view them as a way to just fully experience as much of the game as possible before you're done with it. Like that, the platinum tells you like, okay, you've done everything
Mm,
you can do. You've finished this game truly 100%, and now you can put it away and save it for a rainy day when you're old and move on to a different game. And if it's a game I'm not really enjoying, I'll be like, I don't really, you know, I don't really need
yeah,
to get a platinum for a game that's just like, get these like collectibles over and over and over again to say 80 hours of gameplay on the box.
yeah. No, I have a similar philosophy. I think that's a great way of playing games. Yeah, play a game, see what you think of it. Firstly, do you enjoy it? Great, beat it. Do you really enjoy it? Platinum it, maybe. Type of thing. Yeah, great way to play
Yeah.
it. All right. So if you were stuck on a remote island, then Kai, and on that island you can only bring three games with you. However, you can, have downloads. You can multiplayer it. You can play online, all that stuff, right? Which is kind of difficult, because that means you can probably BioRand it too. But what would those three games be for you, and why?
Well, as much as I want to say like Tomb Raider or Resident Evil, I've thought about this question before, and the simple answer is just whatever game can provide the most content. So that would be games like Grand Theft Auto, Fallout, Oblivion, like these big, giant, sprawling open world games where you could just do whatever. Um, just because if I was going to get something out of it, that would provide the most.
Yeah, you could probably cheat and
Because
say, "Well, can I pre-order GTA 6 just to make all the content that's
oh
about
yeah,
to come out?"
yeah,
Perfect.
GTA 6. That's going to be the biggest entertainment release of all time
Of
thus
all time.
far when that comes out. It's going to be crazy.
It's like, I don't think, I'm glad you said that, and I've been saying this to my wife, as I'm like, I don't think generally people are realizing how big this is going to be. This is going to be bigger than any movie in history, any video game, anything ever made. It's going to pale into comparison. And I don't think the world's ready for it, to be honest. I generally don't.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a big deal. I mean, everybody plays like no matter what you're into, a game like that will have something that appeals to you.
Definitely.
Even if you just want to walk around and just look at stuff. There's a really adorable clip that I saw on Reddit like forever ago where someone was playing Assassin's Creed, I think 2, whichever one takes place in Venice, and their grandparents were like, "Oh," because they were on the gondola, and they set it up so that they showed the grandparents like, here's how you do on like how you move on the gondola, and they spent hours just moving around and just looking at everything, and it was the most adorable thing because they're not gamers, they don't know, but for them it was like,
Yeah,
oh, like wow, like we're in Venice, and they were just like they were just staring at the TV just like fascinated. It was so cute.
that is so wholesome. I love that. It reminds me of that. There's that older woman, wasn't there, that used to have a YouTube channel playing Skyrim. And she was never a
Yeah,
video
and then she
gamer.
changed to
Yeah, and it's just
yeah,
like, oh, I
and
love that.
there's another old lady, something for dogs, food for dogs. I can't remember what her channel is called, but she specifically loves like RPGs and the PlayStation Vita, which is just like what? Like it's so niche,
Yeah,
but she's so sweet. Like she'll be like, "Here's the new like Persona game that I got, the collector's edition," and she'll open it. And she'll be like, "The story was better in the other one." It's just like it's like a nice cup of like tea or something. Like, this is nice content.
oh yes, that is what the internet is for. Let's go. That's amazing. Sounds like a silly question to say considering what's behind you, but Kai, do you have any video game collectibles?
Oh, actually, one that I'm very proud of, and I've showed this off many times on stream, but I actually made a valve handle.
Oh my god, you could sell those.
Yeah, it's foam. It doesn't weigh anything,
That's
but
so cool. I
um,
genuinely would probably look at buying that. That's so
um,
cool.
oh, and again from Angel of Darkness to prove I'm not just saying that I liked it.
Nice.
This is it's actual like resin. Like, you could actually stab
Oh,
someone with this, so it's both a collectible and if someone breaks into my house,
yes.
emergency weapon. And I did get these out. This was sent to me by a viewer. It's
Oh, nice. Oh my, yeah.
Yeah, it's the actual lighter, and it even has my name
Let's
embroidered on it
go.
or engraved on it. But out of all of my Resident Evil collectibles, these are the ones that I love the most. I might have to take them out. They might be too shiny. But these
Nice.
are those cards that when you rotate them,
Oh yeah. Oh my
they're
word.
like, yeah, they don't
That's
make stuff like
so
this
cool.
anymore. It was
No, they
so
don't.
cool.
No, they don't.
And then, yeah, just like these are like from like the 90s, so they're just
Yeah.
like trading cards and has some like information on the back. But yeah, these holographic ones, oh my
Yes.
God, like
It
the
reminds
coolest
me of
thing ever.
the
And I got them at an amazing deal too. Somebody was just selling them online. They didn't even know what they had. They were just like $14 for the whole set. I was like sold.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. It's like the type of thing you'd seen like it's like your box of cornflakes or something back in the 90s, isn't it? They used to make all sorts of stuff like that. They don't anymore. It's such a shame. Uh
Lost art.
yep, 100%. So, just in general, then, when you hit new game on a new game, obviously, do you revert to medium mode? Do you go to easy mode? Do you go hard mode? Like, where do you start? What's your default, generally speaking?
I typically go for normal mode. Depending on the game, sometimes I prefer an easier time. I really don't enjoy getting frustrated
Mm,
because I play games to escape frustration and to like just relax and have a good time. And when something's really frustrating me, I will just turn it off. Like
yeah,
I have no tolerance for it. But I'm leveled up as a gamer to the point that I do pretty okay on standard difficulty as long as it's not like a first person shooter or several fighting games. Those I have to play on easy because I suck.
yeah, same. To be fair. So what's the hardest game? Do you have like a thing that comes to mind when it comes to like the hardest game you've ever played?
um, I don't know if it's the hardest game I've played, but it's the game that taught me that I don't like getting frustrated, and that was Ninja Gaiden. I don't know if it was 3 or Black. It was on the PS3.
Hmm.
And I think I actually platinumed it. I can't remember, but
Oh
I
wow.
remember getting so angry and just like, oh, because you just one hit kill or whatever the extreme difficulty that I was trying to get the trophy for, like, and I finished it and I was like, I'm never doing that again. And that
Yeah.
was that.
I've never played them. I've heard all sorts of horror stories about how hard they are. Yeah. The
Like people like talk about like Elden Ring and Dark
yeah.
Souls, and I'm like, I'm so not interested. That does not sound like a good time to me. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
more power to you if you enjoy it, but
Yeah, I've tried Dark Souls and tried Bloodborne, and I like Blood. Bloodborne is one of the games I really want to enjoy. Again, we talk about Gothic architecture, but I just can't. I just like no. I'll watch someone
yeah.
else play it for sure, but I can't play it to save my life. I'm so bad at that type of game. Oh man, yeah. So okay, so 8 years YouTube, is that something that was, is that the beginning of the story? So what was the first forays into content creation, like obviously having an online persona and platform, like was it before then? Did you do content creation before then?
I did. My first channel was early YouTube. I'm talking like when YouTube was only like 2 years old. I was in the process of moving to Japan, and I thought I'd just document it. And I was a pretty big deal. I had like 500 subscribers on that channel, which at
Nice,
the
yeah.
time was quite a lot. And
Yes.
I'd get comments and all that stuff, and it was really fun. But then I ended up stopping because I went to college or whatever. But then I started again, and then I started a different channel after that where I was trying to do more like comedy stuff, and because I was in LA trying to do the whole actor thing, and I learned that comedy is very difficult to do. Like, especially by yourself, you have nothing to riff off of and all that. And that actually did pretty well. Like, if there's one video I did that has like a couple million views or something, when I worked at Starbucks, it was like 10 worst Starbucks customers or something. And that, like, it was one of those things where it just like it went really well, and then it just like just went down from there. And in the meantime, I was like, well, maybe I'll start like doing some gaming content, because I specifically remember trying to find Resident Evil content, and I'd either not find what I was looking for, or I'd find stuff but the information was wrong, or the quality just wasn't very good. Like those videos
Mm,
that are just slideshows with text and there's no voice or anything, and it would be
yeah.
really frustrating because I'm like, like I could do that. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then I started making content. Although ironically, I didn't start talking about Resident Evil on my channel for a whole year, like when I started it.
Were you in cribbing before then, or were you like,
Hmm.
wow? So you did a whole year
No,
of
yeah.
content without Resident Evil.
Well, it was one of those things where I was just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what
Yeah.
stuck. And I almost
Oh,
gave up on the channel, but then one of my videos just like blew up and I was like, "Oh my God." And then I channeled all my focus onto it and then the rest is history. It never stopped.
no, definitely. And again, it's lovely to see the channel evolving now. Like again, a massive Final Fantasy fan, seeing all the Final Fantasy videos, like facts about Lulu and stuff like that coming out, and it's just great to see again the evolution of the channel, the evolution of yourself as a content creator. So, like, did you then? But that's now, isn't it? So just going to the middle part, I suppose. Was Resident Evil like just the main focus? Was there side content on the side? You've done some lives as well, haven't you? So how have you balanced all that over the years, do you think?
Well, the problem is there's gonna be a point when I have nothing to talk about with Resident Evil until a new game
Yes.
comes out. And I'm not there yet, but it's starting to get to that point where I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about now, you know? So I'm trying to expand into other game franchises and, stay not relevant, but like, expand my horizons
Hmm.
and cast a wider net. But it's difficult because my my viewership is so Resident Evil centric that when I do anything that isn't Resident Evil, I mean, literally with the Final Fantasy, I got a comment at least one time on every single one being like, "Boo!" Like talk about Resident Evil. I don't care. And I'm just like, there are other games. Like, please.
I've noticed this on Twitch, because I'm more Twitch than YouTube in terms of me and my community. And like I've got friends, streamer friends, and stuff like that. As soon as they move or deviate from the Resident Evil streaming, their viewership tanks, and it's just so sad to see. But equally, it shows the strength and the community around the Resident Evil fan base, isn't it? It's kind of like a double edged sword, almost. Do you feel?
Yeah, no, it is. But like, I'll find a way. Like when I do my video, like remaking this hallway in 3D or whatever, I will just, I'll come across something where I'm like, ooh, this could be a video. And I've got hundreds and hundreds, I mean, hundreds of video ideas. So we'll
Amazing.
get there eventually, but yeah, I'm trying to just cover other games because I also like one thing that I don't really ever talk about because I feel like I'm complaining and I don't really have a right to complain is there are some days that I don't even want to think about Resident Evil. Like I'm
Hmm.
so tired of talking about it. And it's not that I don't like Resident Evil, it's just too much of a good thing, where it's just
Yeah,
like all the time. And then people will like message me like, "What's your favorite Resident Evil this?" and like, "Who's your favorite character?" and all that. And it's not that I don't like appreciate, it, but I'm just like, "Oh my God, can we talk about something else, please?" Like,
definitely. Oh man, yeah, I can sympathize. Um, so you mentioned you got hundreds of ideas. Can you give us just a small insight into how you go into that process then of creating this idea into then the video that gets released? When you hit that publish button, what's the process? Where does the idea then become a reality? What's that process like for you?
well, my bread and butter is just the facts videos, and that's just a simple like, what characters have I not covered that we could learn more about, or locations or whatever. And those are actually very labor intensive because it sometimes takes me weeks to research everything because I don't just have to find the information, I have to verify that it's true, and that can be the hard part because there's so much information online that's not true. Like I found so much stuff over the years that even I thought was true. And then I like researched it. I'm like, oh, that didn't actually happen, or that's not in the game. So my policy now is that if I can't show it on screen, I don't put it in the video because it's not
Yeah,
true. But some of the other stuff that I want to do that's more fun, it ends up being kind of just a logistics challenge, and I never get to film them. Like I have it in a drawer right here. I bought an actual lockpick set and I was gonna do a video of like, let's see how difficult it actually is to lockpick. And then I realized I have no locks, and my neighbors are
yeah,
gonna think I'm breaking into my own house. So maybe eventually I'll do that one. I also wanted to do one like where I go to like an herbalist and be like, how would you actually use green herbs? But then like herbalists just are really hard to find,
yeah.
and that whole thing. And I don't know, I just the number one thing that makes me want to make a video is when I see something that makes me go, oh, and it makes me excited. And then I'm like,
Mm,
oh, my viewers are gonna really get excited when they see this too. And I want to like share that, you know.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm the only one excited, like when I found the toilet in Resident Evil 2. It was like
I thought that
the
was
most amazing thing
interesting.
ever.
I was going to say one of my favorite videos that you did. Actually, I had no idea about, and again, thank you for your service for doing what you do. Is the BOW rounds and Code Veronica? Like for years, so many people did not know how they functioned and worked at all, and yet you gave us a fantastic tutorial about how they actually the actual function behind them. And I imagine that that was fascinating for so many people. It was for me, to see that.
Yeah,
So
I was actually really proud of that video, and that's one video I remember, like, not news outlets were picking it up, but all of a sudden, all over Twitter and Reddit and all these other places, people were posting like, "Did you know the BOW rounds? Da da da." And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I know where you guys got that information.
yeah. Oh, that's got to be a nice little pat on the back moment for you, though. That's good. That's good. Let's go. So,
Yeah, no, I was really happy about that.
so you do live content. You spend time with your wonderful community on YouTube and stuff like that. Is there like a schedule? Is it a sporadic thing? Is it like something's happening thing? Like I know you've done a lot of like mods. Again, we talked about Kendo mod as one of them. Like what's the decision making around that for yourself?
I try to stream every Saturday and I try to upload a video every Wednesday. That's my typical schedule. Sometimes I don't stream and sometimes I don't upload, and it's usually either because I'm just not mentally like able to, like, for various reasons, especially streaming. But I've started practicing giving myself a week off every now and then, because I literally, for at least 6 years straight, maybe more, I did not miss an upload. And it takes a lot out of you. Like, it gets to the point, like, you hear all those YouTubers when they hit that 10-year burnout, and I'm not quite there, but there's been some days when I was like, I think this might be it, and then I was able to push through. But it's just it's a weird thing, because again, I don't feel like I have the right to complain, because I'm this is like a dream job that people like desperately want, and I should appreciate it, but at the same time I'm still a human and it is work. Like, people don't realize, like, I don't just, like, I play video games and get paid. Like, no, I have to do so much video editing. Some videos can take like multiple days just to edit, and it's a whole thing. But
Yeah. No, on the Twitch live section myself, like yeah, I think that's one thing that we can shake hands on. I think with content creators on YouTube and Twitch streamers is that we can all agree that not enough people realize how many hours go into the actual content alone, and like it's so true. Like you are basically, you're the writer, you're the director, you're the producer, you're everything basically. Yeah, and there's teams of people that work on a TV show, and even to a point certain YouTube channels. Whereas, and I don't know for sure, but I suspect you're a one man band in that respect. And again, that's
Mhm.
incredible that you've got what you've got going on, with the baggage on top of that you still going and powering through it.
Yeah, um, there's some days that, like, because I don't watch my own videos, like, I'll upload them and then I move on because I have to start working on the next one. So, a lot of people think YouTubers sit there and read the comments and watch the views, and
Yeah,
God, no, like, that's so much anxiety. But every now and then I'll go and I'll look at my channel and I'll literally just be scrolling. I'm like, wow, like, I have made so many videos. And then, because it's such a quick turnaround, sometimes things don't commit to memory. So I'll rewatch like one of my videos and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, from like
yeah,
my own video, because I don't remember like writing that, and I'll be like, wow, that's really cool. And I give myself the feeling that I'm trying to give other people full circle.
that's amazing. So, so so content creation is obviously your bread and butter, the live stuff you do every week where you can. Do you find the content creation, firstly, I suppose double question is, firstly, do you find the content creation easier, I suppose, firstly? And then the second thing is, when it comes to the lives, like what was your first experience like going live for the first time?
Live is hands down easier, like
Oh,
a
is it? Sorry.
million times.
Sorry.
It's so relaxing compared to content creation, because, like, content creation, I have to do all the first. I have to come up with the video idea, then do all the research, and then once I have the script, finalize it, verify everything, and then do the narration. to import all the clips, and if I'm missing footage from something, I have to either go record it or go find it, and like it turns into this whole thing, and then of course editing and uploading and making the thumbnail, and it's just like
Yeah.
so much. But then live, I make a thumbnail. What game am I playing today? And then I go live, and then that's it. And then I just have
Yeah.
a good time with my viewers, and we chat, and like people donate, and I'm just like, oh my god, and it's like a party. Like, it's so chill compared to content creation. I'm like, like
I feel the same way. Like that's the reason, one of the reasons why I barely do much on my YouTube. So I find going live go easy. But again, I misjudged that. I thought you preferred the latter, so I apologize. But like for that reason, like I genuinely think going live is so much easier. So and yeah, spending time with again the people that again, it's almost like your home, isn't it? It's like having your home and then you bring in some peeps around. That's kind of how I kind of perceive like the going live. I don't know if you have a similar mentality, but it's just so wholesome and so
yeah.
nice.
No, and it's really because I think people are also surprised because on Ink Ribbon I'm very clean cut and I'm matter of factly because I'm presenting information. I'm not like here to be a personality or whatever. But when I'm live, I'm just myself, and I'll say like really dirty, perverted jokes and
Yes.
do all that stuff, and people get all like hee hee, and you know, if YouTube allowed like us to take off clothes, it would not be good for my channel. Like I'd probably get in trouble.
That's for
That's
the
how I
other
know they don't
channel.
allow that.
Exactly.
Well, it's frustrating because Twitch lets you do that. Like, if people
Yes.
like redeem points or whatever, you can take off your shirt. I could put on animal ears. I could do whatever I wanted, but I just wasn't getting like the same viewership on Twitch. I tried, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm comfortable on YouTube. I'll just stay here.
Oh no.
Why
I
YouTube hasn't stolen Twitch's features by now, I don't know, but
don't know. Don't know. But yeah, again, I love that you mentioned that personality of yours because it's so true. Again, I remember seeing going live, I think watching you go live and not realizing that myself, and then you had a bit of a DM about like your Instagram and stuff like that. There's certainly another side to you that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, and again, balancing that, I think is you got that to a T. Like I love that.
yeah, I love people's reactions when they first go to my Instagram because they're just like, whoa. Like, I will get comments or DMs being like, I did not expect this. And I'm just like, life is short. Gotta
Life
have
is
some fun.
short, and like you said, you're a professional. There's a line, and you have both sides, so why not?
Yeah,
Absolutely love
business in
that.
the front, party in the back.
Exactly.
And to answer your question, I actually had to go check, and it's really sad because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But my first live stream, I was playing Resident Evil Outbreak. I think I was playing offline by myself, and you can't even see the chat because I didn't know that you're like, I didn't have an overlay or anything. It was just me like just being like, I don't know, whatever, and I'm just talking to myself and like yeah, it was just like I didn't know
Yeah,
what I was doing, but I was like, I was so anxious too. Like it kind of felt like I was just speeding through the game, be like, okay, thanks, bye, and I just like logged off.
yeah,
I'm a lot more comfortable with it now, but you got to
100%.
start somewhere, and that was me just being like, just push me into the water, I'll figure it out.
It's so true. Again, I cringe looking at my first live as well, and like, I think again, I think there's that saying. I don't know if you've heard it. You probably have, but like, it takes you to get to your 100th video, which is really good. You have to go through the 99 before it, and to get to your 1,000th video, which is going to be even better than your 100th, you got to go through the next 900. So it just takes that time and that energy and that experience and all that stuff, doesn't it? So we won't be
Yeah.
as good as we are now without going through that process.
The first step to being good at something is to suck at something.
Yep,
So
love
there you
that.
go.
100%. I have got a question for you. So this has been asked by a previous streamer who's been on the podcast. So they didn't know it was going to be for yourself, Kai. But the question is, what is the stupidest moment you've experienced playing a video game?
I'll take this as stupid funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, when I was playing Tomb Raider 2 back in the day, I lived at my grandma's house and my cousins would come a lot, so they would just kind of watch me play sometimes. And I remember this very vividly because we were dying laughing. There's a level I think it's like one of the Tibetan levels where it's all ice and stuff, and there's these like Yetis, and it this isn't funny, like it's one of those you had to be there moments, but I was shooting there, I was surrounded by Yetis. Laura's jumping all over the place, and I killed one, but it went right in front of the camera. So
All
like if you're the
right.
camera, you just see this Yeti go "Ah!" and just like die.
Yeah.
And it was like we were crying laughing because it
Yeah.
was so out of nowhere, you know, and then Lara gets killed by another Yeti and it was just complete chaos.
Yeah.
I love those moments in games, you know, like you can't replicate that. It just happens and then oh my god.
That really reminds me of one of my favorite childhood memories. You just unlocked a memory for me. Is there's Crash Bandicoot 3. You mentioned Crash Bandicoot 2 before. There's a level called Double Header in Crash 3, which is these two head guys smacking clubs that crash, and if you get your kill animation is Crash hitting the camera, and I remember bursting myself into laughter because of that. The death animations of Crash Bandicoot are just wonderful anyway, but that I just
They're
wasn't
stellar.
expecting it. And like, there's wow, of course, you get the wow noise and there's a smacking against the. Oh, it's just. I think I died on purpose like 20 times when I was like 8, just watching it over and over again.
And you just actually reminded me, I had a friend in elementary school who had a Nintendo 64, so I would come over to his house, and I remember he had Turok, and we like had all the cheats, and there was a certain combination of cheats that you would unlock, and this is very like literally like a 12-year-old boy humor, but if you, it was like big head mode and slow motion mode and something else, and it would make every enemy just explode and go flying into the air, but they would let out these like, oh, like, and they would like fall in slow motion, and we were just laughing our asses off, and it was like such a pure gaming moment of the '90s, you know?
Oh, I know I feel so old and whatever saying it, but I just feel like there's not enough in that in games now. I don't know. There probably is if
Well,
we seek it
unfortunately,
out.
it's like couch co-op isn't a thing anymore. You know something
No.
really sad? I got really excited because I found some N64. I have a Nintendo 64, but I only have one controller, and I found online there was some really cheap N64 controllers that actually work with the console. So I bought 3 of them. I was all excited. I got them home. I hooked them up. They worked. I got an EverDrive to have like, you know, all the games
Yeah.
on it because I'm not gonna pay the prices of all the games today. And then I sat back and I was like, oh, I don't have any friends to play with. And it was just like the saddest thing. It was like, okay, I guess I have to like go out and make friends or something. At least
Yeah.
I have internet friends, but that's not the same, you know? Like,
No. It's true. Couch co-op
ah.
is unfortunately not a thing. It's so sad.
I
Okay,
mean,
I've got
imagine as an adult getting invited to like the '90s gaming sleepover, and you know, there's like pizza and Nintendo 64. It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Oh.
ah.
So, just final question, then, Kai, which is to say, what advice would you think about giving anyone that's thinking of picking up like content creation or perhaps streaming? You know, whatever it is that you feel is you're best equipped to give advice for. What tips and tricks have you thought about?
I have quite a few tips to give. First of all, whatever content you're going to be making, make sure you really, really are passionate about it. And I'm speaking as someone who gets tired of talking about Resident Evil sometimes, like because you're gonna be talking ad nauseum about whatever it is, you know, even if it's not a specific franchise or thing, like it's just be prepared for that. That's like my golden rule. The other one is for success, a big part of it is consistency. You know, if you, I don't care if it's every month, I don't care if it's every week. I wouldn't recommend more than every week because you're just gonna kill yourself. But I tell people that YouTube is kind of like or I guess content creation is kind of like a hamster wheel. Imagine a hamster is powering a generator and he's running and guess what happens if he stops? Like it all stops.
Yeah,
So whatever you gotta put out, just keep it going and keep it going, and that's where it can really become labor intensive over time. Um, Thumbnails are very important. Tags are very important. You got to learn all that stuff and be prepared to do a lot of video editing. I mean, depending on what kind of content you're making, but yeah,
yeah,
it's work. Don't let people fool you online acting like YouTube is so easy to do because it's
yeah,
not. It's
hundred
fun,
percent,
but it's work.
100%. That's some really quick, solid advice. Let's be honest. Like, wow, yeah, like 4 or 5, bam, 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 and I
I'm
100%
ready
hear
to
what you're
give a
saying.
seminar. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ninja. So- Oh my God, Kai, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. And it's been an absolute joy and a pleasure talking to you, my friend. Appreciate you. I appreciate your content. And yeah, it's been again a breath of fresh air seeing the Final Fantasy and the fresh content coming through. So I know not all the
Thank you.
everyone would appreciate it, but I would like to sentimentally say thank you. Yeah, just one more time, would you like to just again tell us where you are on social media, and just sign us out?
Um, if you're looking for just me, my handle on almost everything is Kaikun2236. If you're looking for gaming content, you can find me as Ink Ribbon on YouTube, and that's pretty much the only place you'll find me. But yeah.
Amazing. Everyone, I know a lot of you already are, but check out Incrib and check out Kai. He's awesome, and what a heck of a good time chatting with you, mate. So thank you, really appreciate you. Alrighty,
Thank
right,
you for having me.
signing out now. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, much love. Bye bye.